Hello, hello, everyone. Wow, it's been so long since I've been live on LinkedIn, and actually, we're live on YouTube also. So, welcome if you are joining us live, and welcome if you are here in here with, if you're watching this on the replay. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've done this, and I want to make sure that I can see the chat. There we go. Okay. Hi, everyone. Okay. Here's what I know. I know that somebody less qualified than you got something that you wanted. And it wasn't because they were better, right? It's because they were easier to choose. And this is kind of what I'm going to be talking about in this new series that I am creating here, right? That I'm live here today with, and then I'm going to be live here a lot more often, daily at the moment. So we'll see how long I last with that. What I know is so many, well, actually, this is glaring on this. Let me take my glasses off here. So many qualified people are compared to other people when somebody's looking to hire you, right? But it's not necessarily going to get you chosen, right? And I'm titling this series Category of One, because I know that when you create a category of one, it helps you get chosen. And at the end of the day, that's where the money is, right? That's where the money is. That's how we fill our bank accounts, when we're chosen, when they pick us for the big, fat, juicy contracts, right? When there's a lot of, when you compare, or you can do, like, what you do is so similar to 25 other people, it's a lot harder to get chosen. And that's where you lose, right? That's where you lose. And I remember when I first heard this concept, it was way back when I took Marie Forleo's B School. Some of you guys might remember that. I think she's still running it, actually, but this was like in 2011, maybe 2012. And she talked about, like, having a unique, like, what makes you unique. And I remember thinking, well, wait a minute, but I can help all these people. And at the time, I was a lot less niched in than I am now. And I was just doing kind of general digital marketing. And I remember that I was doing webinars, and I was doing these, like, social media webinars, and they were really valuable webinars, I thought, and I still think, right? But I couldn't get anybody to register for them. And I was also, if you don't know this about me, I have this right brain, left brain thing going, right? I love strategy, but I also love um, tapping in with my intuition, tapping into energy, right? So I was getting certified in Reiki. Actually, I'm a Reiki master. So I decided to shift the concept of the webinar from how to make money with your business, right? Or whatever I titled it, to how to make money with your Reiki business. And 1,000 people registered. I was like, what? I couldn't get anybody to register for how to make money, but how to make money with your Reiki business, 1,000 people registered. So even though it seems like, well, wait a minute, I can help people with other people, I can help accountants and lawyers, but why would I exclude them from that? I wasn't excluding anybody. I was making the Reiki healers feel included. Right? Does that make sense? So that really has shaped so much of what I done, right? If you're one of, like, when I was teaching social media in general, if somebody was looking for a speaker for a conference, for a social media speaker, 100 people, my name would get thrown out with 100 other people. I was happy my name was thrown out, right? But when I started narrowing in on LinkedIn, and especially for LinkedIn for women, even though I teach LinkedIn strategy in general, when somebody would say, hey, I've got this women's conference coming up and I really need a good LinkedIn speaker, instead of being one of 100 people, 100 people would now say, oh, you need to call Karen, right? Do you see how that works? And that's what this series is all about. The people getting picked are not more qualified. They're more, like, legible, if that makes sense. And somebody can say in one sentence, like, what they're known for. So I want to ask you, if you're here live or you're watching this on the replay, what is one thing that people come to you for? You can drop it in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or LinkedIn, one thing that people come to you for. And I'll get back to this later. If you're dropping this in the replay, I can get back to this later. And that's what this series is really going to be all about. Obviously, I'm still focusing on LinkedIn. We're going to be talking I have like a kind of like a little bit of an outline here. I'm doing this 7 days a week because frankly, this is kind of easy for me to do. I love doing this. And I've done this in the past. You can check out if you check out my YouTube channel, there's a couple of playlists too, where I would do daily lives. But what I like about it is I'll tell you, let me tell you about a little bit about the history of it. I started doing these during COVID because frankly, I needed a reason to get out of bed and take a shower every day, right? Like I needed to, so I was like, all right, I'm going to do daily lives. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. So my plan is to be live here on LinkedIn and YouTube daily at 9 a.m. Eastern, Monday, like 7 days a week, because again, I so enjoy this. And I'm hoping you guys start to come regularly. So I get to know you. I get to know more about you. And that's kind of what happened in the past. I got to know people, new people. Like I love, like if you're not yet a listener to my podcast, you need to check it out. It's called Good Girls Get Rich. And I love my podcast. We're recording like 300 episodes like 390 or something like that. So I've been doing this a long, long time. But at my podcast, I'm talking to you, right? I don't get to talk with you. And the reason I want to do this is because I get to do more talking with you. So Cindy's saying the one thing that she wants to be known for is content writing. So that's awesome, Cindy. And that helps. So I'm going to push you back on you, Cindy, who, by the way, is also a part of my team. Like content writing for what? Like content writing, you could drop like 100,000 people could drop that in there, right? So how can you make that even more specific so that you're a category of one, right? Content writing doesn't make you a category of one. And I know Cindy knows how to do this, but I'm pushing back on that because I want other people to be doing the same thing, right? What makes you a category of one? Like what people come to you for that makes you a category of one. So we're going to be doing this. So I'm back to doing this daily. We'll see how long I decide to do this. And I have a container in my head, but I'm all about, where is it here? Hold on. I have two words on my desk that I like to share: ease and freedom. I'm all about freedom and ease. So it may be that my plan is to be here live every day. I know that I can pre-record some of these, so I don't think that's going to have to happen. Like I've looked at my calendar, at least for the foreseeable future, but I really want to show up here for you guys. And I want to get to know you. I want to engage with you. So I have a plan, different days that we're going to do different things. Mondays, we're going to talk more about your profiles. Tuesdays, getting on stages and podcasts and press, because I believe borrowing the stage is a way to quickly grow your business. Wednesday, we're going to talk about outreach. Thursday, the 15-minute daily practice that I teach, the ritual. Friday, we're going to talk about pricing and positioning and getting chosen. And then Saturday and Sunday, we're going to chill out a little bit. I'll answer a question that maybe I got up during the week and I'll go deeper on it. And Sunday, we'll talk a little bit about your week ahead. And I'm going to do this publicly with you, for you, for the foreseeable future. So I'm excited about that. So let me tell you a little bit about what I think a category of one is and why I pushed back on Cindy of all people. It's really not a niche or a title, and it's not your tagline. It's like what happens when there's not really a meaningful comparison available, right? Like most LinkedIn profiles, and I can't even tell you how many times I've said this and by the way, if you don't know me, I've been doing this since like 2010. And I know at this moment in time, there's a lot of LinkedIn experts out there, right? I am an OG LinkedIn expert. I have been doing this since like 2010. And the reason that I focused in on LinkedIn is not because I thought, that wasn't my category of one at the time. It was because my background is in like feet on the street sales, right? I'm a little older than LinkedIn is. So I have been in a sales role for decades, and relationship marketing was always what I did. So when I started to shift over to online marketing, I really just took what I knew how to do over with it. And that all happened on LinkedIn, right? So I have been teaching LinkedIn strategy for over a decade. And I've watched it. I've watched the algorithm change. And it's funny because I was just talking to my team about doing this series. And I said, I don't really know what's going to happen with the LinkedIn algorithm with these lives. I know that I've done this a couple times, daily lives, and there have been times that they've been really engaging, and there are times LinkedIn's not showing them to anybody, but the algorithm's changed so many times over the year that I don't try to predict it, right? I don't try to predict it. I test, and this is a test, right? I'm hoping you guys show up live, and I'm hoping you engage with me and we get to hang out. So I'm telling you that to say, when I tell you that, one thing that has not changed probably in the decades I've been in sales, but certainly in the 1 or 2 decades that I've been teaching LinkedIn marketing, is being a category of one changes everything. It helps you get chosen. And most of the profiles that I look at and that I write, it's like they're talking about your it's like your resume, right? It's like an online resume. And your resume is all about who you used to be. Your LinkedIn profile should be positioning you for the person you're becoming. So you only want to pull from your history what serves the category of one that you want to serve in your next chapter, right? So we spend a lot of time on that in our visibility salon and our She's Linked Up Accelerator program. And there's 3 things when we're talking about your LinkedIn profile that we're going to talk about through this series. One is you want your profile to be a magnet for you, right? I don't want you to be that person out there pitching 100 people every single day or every single week. You get those pitches, right? I get those pitches. I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be the person. I want people to find you. I want them to say, hey, LinkedIn, I'm looking for a speaker for my women's conference that can talk on money mindset. And I want your profile to come up if you're a woman speaker that speaks on money mindset, right? So we want your profile to be magnetic, right? So that's that first thing that we're going to be talking a lot about, because that does the qualifying for you, right? It helps people really get clear on what you do without them having to read everything. Because ain't nobody reading everything in your profile, right? You want them to look at it and see very quickly what it is you do and who you do it for. We talk a lot about your profile as it relates to borrowing stages, right? I mentioned I want you to come up if somebody's Googling or searching on LinkedIn for a specific kind of speaker for their conference. I want you to come up when you are first in business. If you are I can even say, like, that workshop I did that I mentioned earlier, that how to make money in your Reiki business workshop that I did over a decade ago. I could build that. I was trying to build it one person at a time, right? And I wasn't getting anybody that was registering. Now, granted, it wasn't really a borrowed stage because I created that, but imagine if somebody else had created a workshop, how to make money with your Reiki business, and they invited me to speak at it, right? Now I'm borrowing their stage and I get to quickly build my audience because I'm getting in front of other people's stages, right? So we talk a lot about that. And the warm open, right? Like, relationship before asks. Always having conversations on LinkedIn, not pitching, not, hey, I think there's something that you might be interested, like having actual conversations with people. And we've seen this time after time after time. People, like, our clients, are getting chosen over people that are more credentialed because they're showing up and saying what was valuable to them, like what makes them different than everyone else. It helps you get chosen. And when you're chosen, it fills your bank account every single time, right? So you want to be that person. So you have one thing I want you to do today. And I'm trying to keep these to 15 minutes, by the way, so that if you're watching this on the replay, simple. I want you to open up your LinkedIn headline right now, and I want you to read it out loud, right, to nobody. And I want you to think, can 15 or 20 or 100 or even just 5 other people copy and paste what you have in your headline in their headline, right? Because if yes, it's not that your headline's a problem, it's a category problem. Okay. And we're going to fix that as you're going to come back. Maybe Monday we'll be talking about that, right? But while you're looking at it, if you want, drop your headline in the chat and I'll come back to these chats, whether it's on YouTube or LinkedIn, and I'll give you feedback on it, right? Like, drop your headline in the chat and I'll give you feedback on it and let you know what I think. Like when Cindy dropped in content writing and I pushed back at her, right? Like I want you to have success. Okay. I was kind of joking earlier to my team in a meeting that Claude, the AI Claude, like, really reamed me about something yesterday, and they cracked up, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I love that Claude did that because it helps me do a better job at what I'm asking it to do. And that's what I'm here to do for you. I'm not pushing back at you because I think I'm better than you, or if I push back at your headline, it's because I want you to have success. Okay. So I'm only going to tell you what I think. I'm never going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think because I want you to have success. I have said this on my podcast 1 billion times, and I'm going to start saying it here. I want there to be more wealthy women in the world. I think women with money change the world, and the world needs us. In a world that is trying to quiet women's voices, we need our voices to be out there and louder. And this is how we do that. And with the more money we have in our bank accounts, the easier it is for us to do these things. So paste your headline in the chat, take a look at it, read it out loud, take a stab at it to qualify it as a category of 1. Okay. And understand. So here's the thing too. I'm going to help you with this even further. And my intention, by the way, is to do these videos throughout maybe even the rest of 2026. We'll see. But what we have coming up, let me tell you a little bit about what we have coming up. I'm going to be doing a LinkedIn profile intensive. It's a 3-day LinkedIn profile intensive. It's going to be mid-September, and it's going to be free. So we're going to be diving deep, and you're going to have my eyes on your LinkedIn profile, and we're going to be going deep into, because I want you to have, for you to have real success in Q4 of 2026, let's start by making sure you're telling the world what you want them to know about you, and that's your LinkedIn profile. So that's why we're doing this 3-day LinkedIn profile intensive. It's in September. Just comment category below, whether you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn or you're here live, and we'll make sure that you're on the list for that. And again, it's completely free. So this isn't a sales pitch. This is just, if you want to dive deeper into this work, we're going to be doing that in September. And I would be happy to have you there. Just comment category below, and we'll make sure that you're on the list. Remember that I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why I decided I want to go live every day throughout the rest of 2026. We'll be here for that. And here's the thing too. I'm doing this because I'm testing things. And when you hear my whys, maybe it'll help you create your strategies, right? So come back tomorrow. We'll talk about that. And that's it. Day 1 out. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, make sure you send me a connection request too. And remember, just comment category below, and we'll get you on the link for the intensive. Put 9 a.m. daily on your calendar for the foreseeable future, and come join me live. I'll see you tomorrow.